This is my imaginary daughter, and I'm gonna beat you up.
Oh, that's cool.
No. I think I'm saying no is the way to do it. When she just has to say, is there any good reason why you can't? I don't know if she'll execute it, but is there any good reason that you can't buy cookies today?
Ooh, that's
Yes,
good.
because
You're teaching her how to be a salesman. We are
here's what I
live.
would say. Okay, so Girl Scouts of America supports Planned Parenthood,
Folks,
and
folks,
Susan G. Komen Race for the Cure, which also supports Planned Parenthood.
We're live. We're live. So look, hey, you know what? We want to say thank you so much for joining. We are actually going to show you right now how to multiply your tax return. All right? Absolutely. Now, for those of you who are actually in the government shutdown, if you guys, if you guys are in the government shutdown, right? Government shutdown mode, we want to let you know something. We've got a special surprise for you. At the end of the video, we want to offer you something because we understand, right? Hard times. Okay, maybe many of you are in hard times right now, and you're wondering, man, where in the world, how in the world am I going to feed my family? When is this government shutdown going to end? What am I going to do? We're going to show you what to do throughout this video. Okay, we're going to show you how to multiply your tax return, and we're also going to have a special gift for you right at the end of this video. And we just want to offer it to you. Let us know what else we can do to help you. All right? Absolutely. So how many of you are just ready to get started right now? We're going to set up right now with the whiteboard. We're going to show you some things, how to multiply your tax return. Whether it's 1,000 you're getting back, whether it's 900 you're getting back, whether it's 30,000 that you're getting back, it doesn't matter. The simple truth is we can help you multiply your tax return.
What if you're not getting anything back? Can we help them?
Oh, and you know what? What if none of you, what if all of you are getting nothing back? Can we still help you? Absolutely. Absolutely. So CJ, what you're saying is you can help me multiply from 0? Yes. Yes. It's been done before. It's being done right now, and it'll be done in the future. All right? Absolutely. So we just want to get started in just a little while. If you guys have any questions right now, go ahead and ask those questions. Hit the like, hit that bell. Bing! All right? Hit the bell. And subscribe so that you don't miss a single episode of how to multiply your wealth, how to help build legacy wealth for you and your family so that your children and your children's children and your children's children's children don't have to want for anything. All right? Absolutely. So, look, without any further ado, okay, because this is going to be a short one for you, all right? How many of you just clapped right now? Hey, it's going to be short, but it's going to be sweet, okay, because I'm going to pull up here a 7-time entrepreneur. I'm talking about he's a real estate investor, he's a serial entrepreneur, and he's killing it in the field of real estate investing and business credit and whatever else he puts his hands to. He reminds me of a man named Joseph. Oh, it is Joseph. Joseph Smith.
Joseph! Hey, thank you, CJ. CJ, you're the man. You know what, YouTube, this guy, he knows what he's talking about. You need to listen to this man. This is my business partner in whom I am well pleased.
Thank you.
All right. So YouTube, what is the average tax return that a two-income family of 4 is going to see this year?
5,000.
I'm thinking 5.
I don't know.
Yeah.
4 or 5,000.
Yeah.
Is it 2,000?
Okay. What do you think? 2,000?
Is it 3?
3,000? 4,000? 5,000? Is it 7,000? What do you think?
5,000? There's a lot of factors and variables that go into it.
Oh, yeah.
Are you in business for yourself? Are you a sole proprietor? Right? How many people are not getting anything back, right?
Flex said 20,000.
Nice.
Javon said 4K.
Nice. Okay, so here's what that means. All of you folks who are getting tax returns, one of two things. You either qualify for a lot of earned income credit, or you gave your government a whole bunch of money and said, go ahead and make money on this. I'm just giving you the money interest free. And at the end, just give me back because I overpaid. Would you do that with anybody else? No. But okay, here, I mean, I love to talk about real estate. One moment. Handy dandy eraser.
The eraser.
Okay. So today is not a conversation about taxes. The conversation is about what are we going to do with that tax return? Because what do people do? What do like 99% of people do when they get that tax return? Not us, the entrepreneurs.
Right.
But what does your average person do with that tax return?
Go to the casino.
No. That's what the 1% do. Ray said go to the casino, which we do not endorse or advocate here.
No.
What do they do?
Go to Vegas.
They go and catch up on bills.
There you go.
Right? They go pay
They
bills.
buy a car. Flex said they go to the strip club.
Okay, this is a G-rated channel. Okay, as far as I was told.
Yes.
Right, so we're keeping this pure. You know,
Yes,
to the
it's a
pure,
family.
all things are pure.
There you go.
Okay, so when you say strips, I'm thinking you must mean strips of bacon.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah,
So-
bacon bars.
Okay, so here's what we're talking about. What are you going to do, let's say, with a $3,000, tax return? Right? Well, if you go and you pay off bills, okay, great. But what's
There you
going to
go,
happen
Flex.
next month? You're going to have more bills,
Yeah.
right? No one ever gets ahead this way. This is why the 99% of people that go and use this to pay off bills remain poor. What we need to do is we need to invest, right? We need to invest, and we need to invest in ourselves. We need to invest in our future. There's a number of ways you can invest. Today we're going to talk about a couple of those ways, all right? We're going to talk about business credit, right? And we're going to talk about investing in, what else? We're going to talk about education.
Oh, yeah.
Education, coaching, velocity banking, I mean, how many of you are successfully velocity banking right now? Velocity banking goes under a number of terms. We have mortgage sweep strategies. We have accelerated debt reduction strategies. We have cash flow banking. We have infinity banking. We have speed banking. There's so many different ways that we can talk about this. I heard a new term the other day. Oh, what was it that Dennis, can't remember.
Waterfall banking?
No, but anyway, on this
Banking cheat codes.
Banking
That was
cheat
my
code.
idea.
That's a great one. But listen, here's the thing. On this YouTube channel with CJ, you learn some incredible principles on how to take your income and run it through your lines of credit to aggressively pay down all that amortized interest in your life and turn it into simple interest, pay off your debts faster, and increase cash flow at the same time. Does that about sum it up? All right,
It does.
All right, so we just covered velocity banking. Okay. But do you know how to do it? Are you successfully doing it? Like many people, you have questions. Well, you're like, wait a minute, how can I get some one-on-one coaching? Here's the great thing about this. When you call and you start working with CJ Wallace and start coaching with him, he has a great way of helping people get into velocity banking and pay for his wonderful services without you ever feeling the cost, because it's all worked into the velocity banking schedule. So education, I'll let Ray and CJ cover that. Let me go over business credit. A number of you have seen me up here before on the YouTube channel, and we talk a lot about business credit. but CJ's given me about 30 seconds to talk tonight. So I'm going to take about 6 hours of content and really just compress it into about 30 seconds. Okay? So what is business credit? So I'll just shorten it up to biz credit here. We do business credit in 4 steps. 3, 4. First thing is legitimacy. All right, we have to help. I mean, first of all, do you even own a business? Or are you saying, no, I don't own a business? Here, what does it take to start a business? Well, here I am today, just your average Joe Smith. And then I step over here and say, no, I'm in business today. I'm a sole proprietorship. I am Joe Smith Incorporated. Now, sole proprietors, are you really in business yet? You're just saying you are? No, you're still running everything through your personal checking account. But many of you I know on this line are actual entrepreneurs, and you've taken the steps to file with the Secretary of State and set up an entity, an S Corp, C Corp, LLC, a partnership, an incorporation of some kind, a series LLC. There's so many different people that I've been blessed to talk to on this very YouTube channel, and you guys got a lot of great businesses going on. Maybe you're a trucker, or you want to get a new business up and running. So what do? Business credit. We have to work on legitimacy, because if you want money for your business, lenders need to know that you're legitimate.
Yes.
Because let's face it, up to 80% of people, here, we'll write it up here.
Put it right up
80%,
80%
of all applications are
approved.
fraudulent.
There you go.
Okay, I don't have spelling check on this board, okay? That's
go.
CJ, next time you said you were going to give me spell checker for the dry erase.
Okay, sorry about that.
All right, so if 80% of businesses that apply for loans are considered by the lenders as fraudulent, you might not actually be fraudulent. You might have a discrepancy. Maybe the address that you filed with the Secretary of State when you started your business doesn't actually match where you're doing business today. The address you gave to the bank doesn't match with what's at the Secretary of State. So, that's going to be a problem. So we spend a lot of time helping people. If you're just starting your business, we're going to help you set up step by step, right? Step by step through building your business credit. Now I'm talking about the 4 principles that we help people with, but you're getting step by step help, because the banks, it's all automated. Folks, there's a computer system that is checking all of your data, right? All of it. LexisNexis.
Yep.
Go check it out. They know everything about you. Every person who has a social security number in the United States has a 300-page LexisNexis report. That is what the underwriters use on the back end to verify all of the information that you put on your application. And it's all done by computers, and anything that doesn't match up gets rejected, fraudulent. Sorry. And then you don't get approved. And you say, oh man, what am I going to do? Well, the bank overcomes this by saying, no problem. We just need a personal guarantee. Just give us your social security number and give us the ability to put you personally on the hook for your business. Now, when we build business credit for folks, we do it without having to use a personal guarantee, right? So we're talking about your PG, personal guarantee, right? When you work with us, we help you establish legitimacy so you don't need a personal guarantee, all right? That's step 1. All right, now the process to building business credit, it is a step-by-step process. And we work with you every step of the way. Round 2, what is it we do next? Round 2 is we get you set up with your vendor credit. Vendor credit. This is so critical. This is like, okay, getting the legitimacy set up is absolutely critical, because if there's anything wrong here, we're not going to get approved. But now when we start to build business credit, Who is going to extend to your business, your brand new business that has no time in business, or you have errors or omissions, or there's anything wrong? How do we get people to extend to you a $500 line, $1,000, $1,500 line? We set it up through vendor credit. Vendor credit. Anybody ever heard of what's called a net 30 account? That's where, do you guys remember, is there anybody on this YouTube channel who remembers the days when you went to the gas station and you got out and you pumped your gas right there and then you went and paid, right? There's no place like that now, right? Now you have to pay.
I remember that.
You remember that?
Yeah.
You remember that. All right. Well, that's sort of how Net 30 works. You get product today from the vendors, whatever it is, they deliver it to you and you have 30 days to pay them off. This is not a revolving line of credit because you have to pay the entire balance off in 30 days. However, this reports on your business credit. Now, here's the problem with establishing business credit. What percentage of businesses, when you go to apply for their store card or you apply for vendor credit, what percentage of businesses check to make sure that you have good business credit? Folks, YouTube, what percentage of businesses, when you fill out an application for a line of credit, a store card, a bank card, what percentage of businesses actually check your credit?
What percentage of businesses? What do you think? What percentage of businesses? Is it 20, 30, 40, 90, 100%? Flex said 100%.
Yeah, 100% of them will check your business credit rating.
Good job.
They'll check
Good
it with
job.
Dun & Bradstreet. They'll check it with Experian Small Business, Equifax Small Business, Business Experian. There's even Credit Safe. They'll check with so many different folks out there. But let's compare and contrast that. How many businesses actually report positive payments? So if you have a credit card or if you have a Net 30 account with a vendor, how many of the businesses, what percentage actually report to build your business credit? Does anybody know what that number is?
How many? How many actually? The positive reports. He said 20%.
Folks, it's 7%.
Whoa.
7% of businesses report credit. Wait a minute.
7%?
You mean you might have a business credit card? You might have a secured business credit card with some bank and it's not reporting? That's what I'm saying. Even lending institutions won't do this. Now, when it comes to vendor credit, what percentage of vendors actually report? So of the 7%, 3% are vendors.
Quinn says, "Are you serious?"
I'm serious. How hard? This is why it's so hard to build business credit.
Yes.
Because everybody in the world will say, "Oh, yeah, we report." No, they don't report. That's the problem. So you go out and you give a personal guarantee on a card for your business, but where's it actually reporting? It's reporting on your personal credit. Okay, so this is the problem. We've got to do this the right way. And it starts by we're building a foundation, right? We have to set this foundation absolutely solid. And it's by building these vendor credit accounts. In fact, we have to get, how many accounts do we have to get? We have to get 5 reporting. 5 reporting before we can move on to step 3. We have to get 5. But wait a minute, only 3% of vendors actually report. Well, then here's the next question that we get. And a lot of people on this YouTube channel in the past have asked this question. Do you know some starter vendors that I could get started with?
There we go. That's like the number one question.
People know, okay, there's 2 big ones that everybody knows because this is what everybody goes for.
Mm-hmm.
Uline.
All right.
Right? Go out there, check Uline. And Quill.
That's right.
These are great starter vendors that will give you some Net 30 accounts. But again, we need 5. That's just 2. And again, we don't just need 5, only 5. We need 5 reporting on each bureau. When you think about Quill, when you think about Uline, who do they report to? They only report to one bureau. So we still need to get other vendors. Well, where are you going to find a list of starter vendors that you can use to start building business credit? And not only that, where can you find a list of the underwriting guidelines, which means what is it that I have to do first? And if I do all the things that are required and fill out the application correctly, they will give me the net 30 account. That's where Wise Guys and Ties comes in. That's where working with our business credit builder program comes in, because we give you the starter vendors, right? We're going to give you a list of, and it fluctuates all the time. We're going to give you a list today, currently, of 17 vendors that will report on all the different bureaus so that you can start building your business credit. 17. Right? We have found the 3% that report. We've done our homework, we've done our research, and we continue to report this information to you and the underwriting guidelines in real time. Every day we are updating the information so that you know exactly what you need to do. So once you get 5 reporting, what's the third step? Well, the third step is what we call getting store credit. Store credit, revolving credit. But these are like your store cards, right? You guys have heard of like Staples, Office Max. You've heard of stores like Best Buy. These are stores that will give you a credit card that can only be used to purchase their product, right? Pretty simple, and it works like a credit card. You run the card, you make purchases, and you get to pay a minimum monthly payment that includes principal and interest, right? That's beautiful. This is also the start of building business credit. But when you go to reply to these store credit cards right off the bat, because let's face it, who here wants to build business credit and take the time to do it the right way? You're like, no. I've watched a couple of these YouTube videos. I can do it on my own. And the people who come to us have already tried, and they've applied to a number of these store cards, and they all ask for the personal guarantee. And they're like, oh, how do we get it? Well, that's why you gotta, if you want it done right, you gotta hire a professional. Okay? I'm telling you, we're going to sit here and get step 2 done right the first time so that you get the store credit, the revolving credit. We're talking about moving into the phase where here's what we do. Once we get the store credit, we start also applying for fuel cards, fleet credit, right? What business doesn't have a vehicle? You work, whether for yourself or for another company, you have to commute, you have to drive to work. You can get fuel cards, gas cards, maintenance to take care of your vehicle, even vehicle financing. All of this to build your business credit. That's what we're taking care of here. And then the final step is, high limit, unsecured credit cards. I'm just putting CC there, otherwise it'll be writing up on the board forever. High limit unsecured credit cards. We're talking about getting a $20,000 limit, $25,000 limit. We're talking about these high limit credit cards that your business can get that is unsecured, right? But because we've done it the right way, because here in this level, we had to get 10 reporting, right? So in step 3, once we got the 5 reporting on the vendor level, we had to get 10 reporting for store credit, fleet credit, fuel credit, to get to the point where we now have over 14 accounts reporting on our business credit, right? High limit unsecured credit cards. This is where we've gone back to, let's say, the Best Buy, and we had that store card,
okay,
and then we asked them to slap the Visa logo on now, okay? This is where we're starting to get...
slap that Visa logo on.
You're talking about, like, a lot of people are like, well, hey, I've applied to the Capital One. I saw the Sparks card. They have that 0% interest. But when you go to apply, what happens? Oh, you're going to have to provide a personal guarantee. Well, when you get to the point where you have 5 plus 10 accounts reporting positively on your business credit report, you can put through an application for high limit credit cards where it doesn't require the personal guarantee, because here's what people don't know. All of these banks, even companies that offer credit cards, they have programs that don't require the personal guarantee, but they don't advertise for it. And why not?
Why is that? Why don't they advertise for
Come get this business credit card. No personal guarantee required. Unsecured. Why would they do that when they've already trained you to give your social security number?
Wow.
And put you on the hook. Well, and they can always justify it because think of your business. How many people on this line are already trying to say, you know what, I've heard about your business credit, but it costs too much money. I mean, those are seriously bad words. Cost, too much money. You haven't been watching enough CJ YouTube videos to understand how evil those words are. Because what this is going to cost you a lot of money. When you put a personal guarantee on your business, that can be good for a very limited period of time, right? We have ways to help people who do have a personal guarantee, but when they go through our business credit, they get the personal guarantee removed. Now, how long does it take to do something like this? How long is it taking you on your own? Have you done it? Have you got $50,000 in lines of credit? What we do is we get this all done in 6 to 12 months. What is it that we get done? You get a perfect business credit rating. It's as if your business had an 850 FICO score. If you walked into a bank and you had an 850 credit score, do you feel like you could, apply for a line of credit or a loan and get approved? Well, your confidence level would be a lot higher.
Through the roof.
But whether you get in 6 to 12 months, you get $50,000 in lines of credit. That's what we do for folks. And this stuff, it comes, when it starts coming, right, if we've taken care of the legitimacy and we've gotten that out of the way, right, then we start building vendor credit, store credit, revolving credit, fleet credit, all the way to the high limit unsecured credit cards. Imagine, what does this cost? Our services that we charge, Wise Guys and Ties, $5,000 that we help people do this. Now, we offer a one-time discount when you go to our website. If you want to pay it all up front, you can pay for $2,997. That's 40% off, right? Think about that. You have a $3,000 tax return. And instead of paying off some bills that you're going to have to pay again next month anyway, and you didn't really get ahead, imagine putting $3,000 into building business credit, and then 6 months from now, who knows what's going to happen to this economy? The government's shut down, the stock market's going up, down, up, down, up. Who knows what's going to happen in 6 months? How would you like to know that you're going to have $50,000 in liquidity through the lines of credit that your business will have established? Think about that as we now transition to our next speaker, who's going to be talking about, I don't know which one of you guys wants to go next.
Oh, man, I want to go next, man.
All right.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's CJ's YouTube channel, so we might as well let him talk, right? Everybody, CJ Wallace.
Thank you so much. You did an excellent job, man. Wow. Condensed 6 hours of knowledge all down and talk about a fire hose, right? Awesome, man. Awesome. Look, I just want to give some special shout outs. And Joshua, I'm actually going to be calling you right after this, okay? I'm probably going to spend about 3 minutes right here. So what I wanted to do, I wanted to shout out some folks. Aaron, as a matter of fact, he just signed up for the full package, business credit builder, the real estate investing education. And I just want to say that this man is an inspiration. I asked him, what do you say to people who are like, hey, it's too much money, or I have the money now, but I gotta, pay some bills with it. What do you say to them? And he said this. He said, I would say to them, CJ, that you might as well do it now, because the time is not yesterday. The time is not tomorrow. Folks, the time is now. The time is now. If you want to build a business, get started now. Do you know why? Come with me on this, all right? Come with me on this and let me know what you think. Do you know why the prices to you seem so high? Do you know why that is? Because you were trained that way. I was trained that way. Others were trained that way. We were trained to say a certain price was too high. But I'm here to let you know that the price is not too high. And you are worth it. And you can afford it. All right? You need somebody to say that to you. You need someone to say, hey, I believe in you. I believe in your business. That's why when you get signed up on the Business Credit Builder, all right, and the real estate investing education as well, or if you want to just get signed up on the Business Credit Builder, we're going to go ahead and write a check, cashier's check, towards your business for $150.
Woo!
Because it's not too much, okay? If, you've been affected by the government shutdown or not, we're going to go ahead and do that to you. We understand it's trying times. But we want to show you that we're as committed as you are. And we're going to be committed all the way through. All right? So, folks, there's a 76-year-old woman. Can I just say this one thing? There's a 76-year-old woman.
We love you, Mary.
We love Mary. She is a landscaper, folks. She landscapes. She told me last night she was landscaping, and she says, you know what? See, I want a landscaping business. I think I can do it. I said, baby, I know you can do it. So what did she do? She went ahead, and she wants to work with us on the real estate investing education side. She's going to be a real estate investor, folks. She's already a real estate investor. When do you become an investor? The fact of the matter is, we're all investors. Believe it or not. It's all about what you are investing in. She said, now is the time, CJ. We've got kids, and I just want to do this right now. I feel that I can really do this. And Joseph and I, we absolutely sparked that confidence within her and let her know that she can do it. And she says, you know what, let's go ahead and do this. Let's do this. Let's join the real estate investing community. And she's in, folks. She didn't say all tomorrow, She didn't say all next month. She said, let's do it right now, right? Absolutely. So, folks, I just wanted to let you know, believe in yourself, okay? Because I believe in you, but now it's your turn, all right? So, Joshua, I'm going to be calling you in just a little while here while I bring up another serial entrepreneur, okay? Another wealth builder, another can-doer. All right, he's a can-doer. If you put, I tell you what, folks, if you put a wall in this man's way, he is not going to go around it. He is not going to go over it, and he is not going to go under it. You know what he's going to do? He's going to burn through it. This man's name is Ray Fleming. That's how he is.
Oh, yeah. Well, thank
Awesome,
you, CJ.
man. No problem, man.
Man,
No problem.
the Kool-Aid guy.
Hey,
That's
I'll
what it
I'll
is.
take your phone.
That's it.
You don't want to be texting while you're live on YouTube, my friend.
Business never stops. You'll have to find it in there. All right, perfect. So what are we talking about here? Heard a lot of good stuff about business credit, about you can do it. All that's all fine and dandy, but what was this? The real estate education? Now, really, why do you need to be educated to go out and do real estate? I mean, I've seen the TV shows. What's the risk? I've seen a bunch of YouTube videos. You could go out, put some signs up for some wholesaling, get it under contract, make some money. Sounds really easy, right? Well, unfortunately, if anybody has anybody tried wholesaling? Have you actually went through the effort of putting the roadside signs out there? Have you been calling for sale by owners, scouring Craigslist ads, driving for dollars, doing all of that? Who has actually done that? All right. If you've done it, were you successful? How successful were you actually at that? Anybody on there? Anybody? Here we go. We're gonna pull it up. Let's see here. Me, Flex. Okay, so Flex, you've been out there. You're trying to hustle it. What happened? I mean, it's a lot of work. A lot of work. So let's talk about that. Because if your situation right now is you need more money, scrimping, saving, and pulling back is not going to do it for you. You cannot save your way to wealth.
No,
I'm sorry,
you can't.
Dave Ramsey.
No, you can't. No, you can't.
Going to the beans and rice diet is not going to make you rich.
Folks, you do not have to go on the beans and rice diet. You don't have to starve yourself, all right? Remember, the velocity banking method has already proven that. Actually, Mary was just telling me, you know, I didn't know what it was called, CJ, until I saw your show, but I've been doing that for 15 years. This woman has an 822 credit score.
That's good.
Amazing. Amazing, folks. So please, continue.
All right. Well, you know, I'd just like to talk about the amount of money it takes versus time. I think that these are usually what we all look at, time and money. Would everybody agree that those are somewhat interchangeable? We exchange our time for money. As employees going through this world, we value ourselves for how much somebody is willing to pay us. And you're leaving it up to somebody else to say, you are worth minimum wage. You are worth $20. You are worth $50. Anybody out there worth $100? So that's the thing is, you have to figure out where and what you are worth. And not until you make the decision in your mind that you are worth a lot more than what other people are telling you, things can't necessarily change. See, before, a few years ago, when I was there sitting at a bus stop, waiting for the bus to get to my job that I hated, so I could work 14 hours to get a paycheck, so then I could, you know, travel another 2 hours to get home, to basically have my wife asleep when I showed up, and she was still asleep when I came home. I mean, like, or so when I left, yeah, so what is it? I left work and she was still sleeping, and then I show up and then she's still sleeping. So it was one of those situations, and what do you do? What do you do in that situation? Because I'm sitting there and I was like, if I just had some more money, if I just had money for a car, and then when I had a car, then I'm like, if I just had money for a nicer car or a nicer house, if I just had money. And my problem was I was too fixated on the money.
There you go.
I was so worried about not having any. Yeah, I didn't have any. I didn't even have any to be worried about. It was kind of one of these things. Has anybody been in this situation? I know the guys on here, and the girls play this game. I know the guys on here. You like a girl. Mm-hmm. And you will do everything for this girl, particularly back in high school. Mm-hmm. So freshman year, there's this girl, Jenny, my best friend. Mm-hmm. But I would do everything for Jenny. You know, I would take her some flowers when she's sick. You know, I'm like getting my mom to drive me over there to the store to get stuff. And, you know, I'm thinking, oh, you know, I have this huge crush on this girl. And I was like, oh, one day she's going to understand that, you know, I'm just a sweetheart of a guy. But the thing was, I was always there. And as long as I was really trying to capture her attention, she's like, no, like, you're a great friend, and I know you're always there, Ray, so not going to really, basically put you in the friend zone, because you're more of like my bodyguard and my security. Oh. I'm going to go out there and chase those bad boys. So it wasn't until I actually detracted myself, because after a while I was like, this is a waste of my time. I feel like I'm just being used. It took me a little bit too long. But eventually I just started pulling myself away. And as I pulled away from pursuing her, then that is when she actually turned and was like, wait, why are you not talking to me anymore? Why this? And then all of a sudden, like, started to actually fight because I was no longer seeking that. Now, this is a very important concept I want us all to understand here.
As long as you are chasing money, money is going to know that you are always chasing it. And it does not need to come to you. Because when people are desperate, are you attracted to that? When somebody's like, hey, I really need $100, I need this, you sense desperation and you run for the hills. That's not somebody that you want to lend money to. So it wasn't until I said money is no longer important to me. Money, let me get this correct. Money is the most important tool because we all understand it. This is the most widely used currency. However, we always trade our time for our money. Something else that I also consider a currency is time. Would everybody agree that time can be a currency? Okay. For me, time is the most important thing. I am hustling now to free up my time. I do not want to be working when I'm 40. I do not want to be working when I'm 50. I do not want to be working when I'm 60. Right. I'll probably work, but what my work will be then is very little hours for a large return. That is the goal of everything. But when I'm just starting out, got to invest the time. I'm not worried about how much money I'm making because nobody's paying me hourly. My hourly wage is way too high. I'm certifiably unemployable. Nobody will literally pay me what I would ask. I mean, if I had to get a job, I'd be like, well, I don't know, you got to give me at least like $500 or $1,000 an hour to actually sit here and do this job. Like, it's just not going to happen. But I will grind it out for little pay, building a business, because the fruit of that tree is going to be so delicious. And that's what we encourage you all here on this channel, is to build something big.
Yes.
Because what else besides time? We have relationships. So think about this. These are all currencies. You could use your time to go build more relationships, build relationships with other people, surrounding yourself with like-minded individuals who are on that track of wanting to be better. As you surround yourself with those people, you will be able to come along with them. So think about this. You've heard these things before. I'm simply just restating what you already know, that you are really the makeup of the 5 people that are closest to you. So if you're hanging around with people at work that are complaining, they're wrapped up in the politics and the minutia of everything, where are you going to be? So disconnect. Get into some audiobooks. My first mentors were all through books. I had nobody around me. So I drowned the noise with positive inspiration from the successful people that have paved that path. So time is extremely important. Relationships is even more important. I'm going to put money back here because money right now is the lowest currency on my level.
That's the lowest.
Time, relationships, knowledge. Would you say that a doctor deserves to earn more than a customer service representative? It's just they have spent the time, they've grinded, they've hustled to make sure that they knew what was important in certain situations. Same with, engineers. Engineers are creating something. They've spent the time to develop the knowledge and the relationships to move forward. And that's why they get more money. After we have time, relationships, and knowledge, what is next? We actually credit. Credit is a currency that we use in front of money, because cash, we use our credit for currency and the cash as velocity. We leverage. The key to owning and controlling is to leverage the right way, not necessarily go into debt the wrong way. Let's take a little backtrack. When you get $50,000 lines of credit for your business, that does not mean you go and buy Gucci bags. That unless you are selling Gucci bags, that is the only reason you would do that. It's like I'm broke. but I'm still rocking my Pradas, and I got my Supreme headbands, and I got my Salvatore Ferragamo loafers that were $4,000. It just doesn't make any sense. Yes. I see so many people out there. I'm not knocking anybody on here, but keeping up with Benjamins it's hard. It's hard, and it's something that I've wrapped myself up in because I like nice things. I've done it and I continue to do it, but I still have to pull myself back and say, hey, whoa, Ray, what could we use that money for? If I want to go get a nice car, so let's talk about that. Say I want to get a Corvette. Okay, I'm like, yeah, let's go get a Corvette so we could go fast. You know, maybe a new Singer. So I don't know what that would cost. Maybe like $70,000. $70,000. Well, if I paired that into a business and I'm starting to, you know, I'd probably have some type of lease in a situation. But before I actually take $70,000 and actually go out and get a business or go and get a car, I would rather take that $70,000 and go get some type of rental property so that the money that is coming off of the rental can go to pay for the car. That is what it is. If you want nice things, get a cash flowing asset to pay for it. That's all I'm trying to say. That is why you need to have the time to actually, and the knowledge and the relationships of the people that are already currently doing this, who know how to do this, and leveraging their credit to make this deal happen, so at the end, you get your money. That's what happens after that car's paid off, and your equity's paying down, and your properties are getting paid off. That is the key. That is the true key to success. Now, I love real estate. I love storage units. We were actually out there earlier today looking at a storage unit, a facility. It was on two separate little areas of land, 200 units in that facility. It's bringing in $130,000 a year. But this is, you know, it's $1 million. How on earth could we afford that? Well, we're trying to negotiate a deal with the guy so we don't really have to use any of our own money. And if we were to purchase it, it wouldn't be any of my own money. No. To this day, I maybe have $10 in all the real estate. We currently have about a couple $100,000 in holdings, and none of it was ever used, my own money, to secure that, yet I make money off of all of it. That's the key to success. But I didn't learn that overnight. It took a lot of time, and then I had to work and find the people that were doing it for 20, 30 years, getting their knowledge and creating that relationship. So I'm young and I'm a hustler and I'm ready to do this, and I go to the older investors who are getting a little bit tired of running around and hustling, but we made an exchange there. So relationship exchange for knowledge and time. I had time, I had a relationship there, and I was willing to exchange that for their knowledge. Money was no factor in that. So this is what is important. Right. What CJ was talking about as far as the real estate investment education, we have the knowledge collected for you. Yes. We have so many of our mentors who have made massive success in so many different areas, whether it's a fix and flip, maybe it's commercial real estate, it's buy and hold, so rental properties. Right. Oh, you just made it. Okay, so I was trying to figure out how much actual equity that we had. We now have $500,000 in equity in our properties from last year alone, and I didn't use more than $10 of my own money.
Ray, you're so inspiring, man. You're so inspiring. You're inspiring me to talk. Because I
come on, let's talk. This is open forum.
Yeah, you know what? Because I remember, man. I remember working at Popeyes, man. Right?
Ooh, Popeyes.
Popeyes, and they got some good chicken, man. They got some good chicken. But let me tell you something, man. Working $8 and something an hour, how do you afford a $20,000 investment? working $8 an hour. How do you do that? How do you invest $10,000 when you don't have $10,000, folks? Okay? This is real stuff, okay? This is how you do it. What he's talking about. Relationships. Relationships. Okay? There's a guy right now, has a property in Pennsylvania, okay? He's already looking into purchasing it for 60 grand. He says, CJ, you know, it can easily sell for 200,000. Now, when people tell me that, I'm like, oh, okay, well, here he goes. But then he went down into the science of how he came up with his numbers. And then my ears started to perk up. And he said, well, CJ, a house down the street from it already sold for 220. And I said, wow. And all it needs is cosmetics? He said, all it needs is cosmetics. He said, I need a private money lender. He came to the right place, folks. You know what I mean? And so connections. Remember, it's not all about what is the price, okay? Because remember, there's a difference between price and cost. And we talk about that in earlier videos. But really, it's all about relationships, all right? Relationships. Don't forget that. Great. That was good, man. Very good.
Perfect point. And folks, I couldn't even say any better because you know CJ, you know Joseph, you've seen me a couple times. I surround myself with people like CJ. You are tapping into CJ too, because when there's so many people on YouTube that I watch and I connect to and I tie in, even though we're in different states. Technology age has made it so easy. Oh man, and we all know this. We all know this. I'm just preaching to the choir here. Everybody here knows something. But go out there and save your friends.
Yes.
Save your friends. Tell them that, hey, I'm gonna go do something. I'm gonna go do this. And people will think you're crazy. They will.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
But would you rather be labeled crazy than be somebody nobody talks about?
Hey, I'd rather be labeled crazy. Watch this. I'd rather be labeled crazy in the wintertime than dead in the summer.
Ooh.
I'd rather be labeled crazy in the summertime than dead in the winter. Do you remember the story of the grasshopper and the ant?
Please tell.
Yeah, the grasshopper and the ant. The grasshopper was always making fun of the ant, right? Always. Look at what are you doing? You're just going here and there. You guys are busy. You're always busy. They were storing up for the winter. So that when winter came, the ants, they were nice and cozy. While the grasshopper was nice and dead. Because it was cold, right? Cold. So, folks, just letting you know, we want to help. And we're going to help. We're helping, and we want to help even more of you. All right? Not only get out of that mindset, but get some legacy wealth into yourself, into your business, and into your family's lives as well. Go for it, man. I'm done. Go ahead, man.
All right, perfect. Well, so wait, before I went off on that little tangent there.
Little.
Oh, I love rabbit holes. Feel like Alice in Wonderland sometimes. Where am I, by the way? Who knows? All right, so what we were talking about earlier is how do you get there? How can we expand your relationships, expand your knowledge, utilize your time, understand credit, your money? Well, we talk about how to get your business money, how to get your business credit, how to build your knowledge on setting up your business, you know? So let's talk, what else do we need to understand how to run a successful business? Well, what about taxes? Taxes is a very important thing, but also the legal structure of stuff. The legal structure. Should you have an S Corp, a C Corp? What if you have a family management company that's paying your children? How do you structure that? Can you do that with a C Corp? Or can you do that with an S Corp? Do you have an LLC? What's the difference between an S Corp or an LLC? What if you're moving money to a trust? How does all that work? Well, we got master genius Mark Kohler, who's going to teach you over the course of, what is it, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, about 13 to 14 hours. I think it's almost 14 hours. It's almost 14 hours. Don't quote me exactly on this. I have to look at the exact numbers, but we got 2 days of training with workbooks and pre-test, post-test. So you know from one of the top industry leaders. Check him out, Mark Kohler. I know CJ helps you get set up with a free consultation with him, and they are not cheap. $500 an hour.
Oh, yeah.
But it's not that it's expensive. Our attorney, he charges like $150 to tell me it depends in an email. And I don't even know why. After the first 3, when every response is, well, Ray, it depends. And I'm like, I'm just never going to send you another message anyway and just assume it's going to say just depends. Isn't that that's like the perfect lawyer answer to everything. It depends. We could dive into it for $2,000, but all right. So what's another important thing? If we don't have a personal guarantee that's good enough to leverage a lot of credit right now, then we need to work on our personal credit. So credit management. Credit management. So did anybody ever take a class in middle school, in high school, college on how to manage your credit? What affects your credit? How is your utilization ratio factored in? What's the best way to optimize your credit? What about inquiries? Well, we know that we're not supposed to be bad, but the problem is every time you go to Target, you go to Kohl's, you go to some place, you go to Lowe's, and they're like, hey, would you like to save $25% today on this $12 purchase by applying to our Lowe's card? And what do we do? Oh, wow, nobody ever told me that was a bad idea. Sure, for this $12 purchase, I just slapped an inquiry. Oh, I don't have credit? Oh, that just lowered my score even more. I was like that. I had no idea what credit was. I had no idea how to use it. What I did know is that it caused my family to break apart. Not understanding how to use finances is the #1 destroyer of families in this country. And that is the unfortunate situation. Just thought this gentleman over here was going to have a heart attack. He saw a cricket. Sorry, I wish you guys could have seen that. But anyway, finances, that's the #1 destroyer of families. And it all comes back to not understanding how to manage finances, how to manage our credit, how to manage, because once we actually look at ourselves like companies, which you are actually a company, whether you understand it or not. You are an asset that goes and makes money. You are a management company that manages a family, that manages your life. We need to look at ourselves in the mirror as a company. I'm the company of Ray Fleming. My job is to make sure that this company thrives and succeeds. And it's little franchises that, I got a little girl franchise and I got a little boy franchise. I got to make sure that they go out and they have the tools they need to be profitable and to be successful and to thrive and add value to our country. That is, and to the world. It doesn't stop here. Shut down, build the wall, whatever. But this ripple will take over the world because we are the greatest country in the world. And if we are not living up to taking full advantage of what that opportunity means, then we're just part of the problem. And I wasn't part of the problem. I was a big drain on society until one day I had to make the choice to change. Which I'm just saying, these are things that you could take to your friends and say, hey, quit being a drain on the world. Come with me. So we got to get into credit management. Because also, I forgot to tell you, when we get you in these classes, it is not just for you. You can bring a friend along with you. Did you hear me? When you get started, bring a friend along with you. Study together. Take those classes together. And you need a buddy. Buddy system is the #1 thing.
2 for the price of 1?
Do you think Navy SEALs go out there by themselves? They got a buddy system in place. That's what it is. No man left behind. Grab your best friend. Tell him, hey, buddy, I'm dragging you along whether you like it or not. And one day you're going to send me a gift basket for doing it, because then you'll have the money to actually afford a gift basket. So we got to get credit management down. Next, what about velocity banking?
What is that?
We love, you see CJ all the time training on the velocity banking. It's amazing. But then some of you are like, well, CJ didn't quite cover how I actually pay my mortgage with a credit card without doing a cash advance. He also didn't cover how I'm actually going to pay for a multifamily unit property with my business credit. That's the great part. Got that covered for you. A super intensive training that doesn't just cover that. It goes over the loans, the understanding of everything, examples, hands-on training.
A nice short YouTube video?
No, this is long. This is hours long of in-depth, just the nitty-gritty, how to do it every step of the way. That's what it is.
Spreadsheets?
We talk about, spreadsheets, SDIRAs. Just last year alone, we had a new business we wanted to set up. So because of the time that we spent, the relationships we built, and the knowledge that we understood through taking these courses, we were like, hey, we need to go set up a new rental business. There's a great deal over there. There's a triplex, there's a duplex. We need at least $400,000 to go buy it cash. So we set out 30 days. 30 days had $406,000 from self-directed IRAs. We're like, great, we're done. 30 days later, let's put it in a business and let's keep it moving. That's the power of having the knowledge, because once you're perceived as an expert, I can run miles around people that have been doing real estate for years. And that's not just, I'm not just being cocky. I put the time in. I sacrificed a significant amount of my time to make it happen. Whoa, my goodness. It is 9:35 at night, and I started work, 8 o'clock this morning maybe? I don't know. And I'll still keep working until I go to sleep. But back on track. What are we doing here? What about red flags? What does that mean? Real estate red flags. So what we do in this course is we go through the pitfalls, the things that could take you out. Because real estate, it's a risk, but the risk is in the investor, in any investment. Like Warren Buffett says, he doesn't invest into anything he doesn't understand. And over the last 60 years, has averaged 20% annualized returns on his money. And that is why he's in the top 3 richest people in the world. Berkshire Hathaway owns real estate. It's their insurance and real estate, and Coca-Cola. And now Apple. They own successful businesses with proven track records that they can understand. That's simply what it is. So, but you know what? Another thing, I was watching this interview with both. It was an older thing from Steve Jobs, but I've seen a connection with him, with Steve Jobs, the late Steve Jobs, with Warren Buffett, Jeff Bezos, and Bill Gates. They all say they wish they had more time to read, to learn, to expand their knowledge. They consider their knowledge is the most important thing. They consider themselves the asset, because the more they know, the quicker they can be. And even at Warren's old age, he still tries to read for 6 hours a day. 6 hours a day, that's crazy. Crazy. But that's what you should be doing too. If he's doing it, then we got to double time it. All right, so real estate red flags, that's where we're going to go into what to watch out for, because it's very easy to lose $20,000, $30,000. And if you're using someone's retirement, this is their nest egg, this is their kids' trust fund. It could be a charitable donation. This could be money for their church. You do not want to take money from the church. That is not a good thing. So make sure what you're doing. What about creative acquisitions? So creative acquisitions. We go over 10 ways of acquiring properties. Has anybody ever heard of a subject to the current, subject to a wrap? subject to the current financing. Making a deal that way. Did you know that there's people out there who will give you their house and you don't have to qualify for the mortgage? My wife, she's like, got a couple kids, they're getting bigger, Ray's getting bigger. We got to go get we got to go get a bigger house. And I'm like, well, I don't want to go get another house because this one's almost paid off. Why do I want to go get another house? But I will go get another house that's much bigger if it's the right deal. But if I can help somebody out of a bad situation, that's simply what it is. We've talked about, subject to, and then in this class, there's 10 other ways they talk about how to get properties without using any of your own money or credit. So helping somebody out of a foreclosure situation. Do you know how many foreclosures are in your area currently? I know this month there's about 200 in southern Arizona scheduled for auction. Now they all don't go to auction, but that's still a lot. Many of them needed somebody to help them out. Who should help them? Well, you, the real estate investor. You need a house? Tired of paying rent? Go help somebody out of foreclosure. There you go. Boom. You got your house. Problem solved. I make it sound easy because once you know how to do it, it is. Deal of the decade. So let's talk about that. The deal of the decade. So the deal of the decade covers houses that are stuck in probate, the legal system. So have you ever wondered, who's actually the homeowners that are dealing with evictions? Do you think they might be motivated to sell? What are the biggest problems landlords face? They face termites, tenants, taxes, and what's the other?
Tenants, toilets, termites, and
toilets. Yeah. So there's a rental, a plumber's sitting out front. Good time to call, especially if there's a for rent sign. Call them up and say, hey, I see that you have rental properties. I sell houses. I'm an investor. Would you like to buy more houses? And most of the time they're going to say, what? I just had a plumbing problem and now you want me to, I can't even rent this thing out. And right now you want me to go buy another house and you don't even understand. Oh, fantastic. Did you ever think, are you interested in selling that house? Boom, right there. That'll make you some money. One simple little phrase. All right, so what else do we got? Now, what else is important about real estate? The real estate essentials.
Yeah, I have a question on how often does the deal of the decade come around?
The deal of the decade, well, CJ says once a week, probably every day. At least once a week, the deal of the decade comes around.
If you know how to look for it.
Yeah, if you know how to look for it, that's for sure. The real estate essentials, everything you need to know. This is basically, like becoming a realtor. What you need to understand about actually, what does all this stuff mean? The terminology, things like that. So real estate marketing. So marketing for properties, to sell properties. We have a lot of systems that we can plug you into because once you actually join this network, you're actually plugged into us and our other thousands of investors that we work with. So if you had access to a community of thousands of investors, could you be a little bit more successful? Instantly gaining relationships, instantly understanding that your time is valuable, and using the coursework, business credit, and everything else to expand your knowledge to get the money. So if you want the money, just follow the path of everybody else. That's all that has money. Okay, so what does all this cost? Well, that's fine and dandy, Ray. Well, it's only $2,000. Only $2,000. You know what? We're going to put that in green. That's it. $2,000 for the lifetime of the website. Lifetime of the website. And this website It's been live since 2011, so it's not going anywhere. $2,000, 11 classes with lifetime guarantees. So what happens when what happens next year when there's a new tax legislation law, something or rather gets passed? Well, the national expert for tax information is going to come back and talk to us about what has changed, so you are on top of your game, because last year there's the big change with removing the entertainment the entertainment write-off for businesses. That was a big killer. So no more writing off golf. Well, you just have to figure out a different avenue, and we can talk about that in another.
But they increased how much you can pay your kids.
20%. Well, yeah, the increase on the kids, the bottom line, straight deduct. Yeah, so there's been a lot. There's pros and there's cons, but if you are at the point where you're making lots of money, that's going to be a big factor when you're strategizing your tax plan for the year. So we have a doctor that's...
Question came in. What happens when the website shuts down?
What happens when the website shuts down? Well, I don't know. I have no good answer for that. Because I wasn't planning on shutting down, because I'll tell you what. This website and these classes, there's no debt attached to it. It actually been running in the black for a long time. This is actually a real campus where we film the stuff. I own the building. We own the studio. Own everything. There's no debt attached to this. So the fact that it's basically, I think it was what is it? I don't know.
The Inc. 5000, 3 years in a row.
Inc. 5000, 3 years in a row. It's one of the fastest growing companies in America. I don't know. I guarantee you, if you were to take $3,000, get tied into this, if this went away tomorrow, I would still have a connection to everybody, which is I couldn't even access that network for $2,000. It was amazing. And if you just take your tax and legal class, you pay that $2,000 a night, you take 14-hour classes in the next day, because they ain't shutting down in the next day, you will get back. Well, if you do it right, you will save at least $2,000 on your taxes. The thing pays for itself. But it's just like me. I could get hit by a tree.
So what about, when we talk about what about if the website goes down, then there's an opportunity from everything you've learned.
Oh, yeah. Actually, I actually know the guys that will recreate this. So if it goes down, I'm sure you can hop on board in the next one. We'll figure out a deal.
You just go to wiseguysandties.com and you'll find it all up there.
If it goes down, Ray will give you 2 hours. If it goes down the next year, I will personally give you 20 hours of coaching, which that's only $100 an hour, and I would charge $20,000 for that. So if that's the deal, either you get the classes and you learn, or if it goes down in flames, you get 20 hours of coaching with Ray, and I'll help you through your first, whatever it is, structuring a business, getting some business credit. So you win either way. I think that's a pretty good deal. Yeah. So I really hope it doesn't go down, because I don't have that much time, and my time is the most important thing. So fantastic. If you want to learn more about that, talk to CJ. Shoot him an email at creditwiz@investorpro.org. Isn't that CJ's email? Perfect. But I plan on continuing my education. I take these classes all the time, and it helps me tremendously. I owe all my success to surrounding myself with people that have taught these classes and taking the classes. Before this, I was nobody, and I wouldn't be the successful investor I am today if I didn't get involved. Now, of course, I've spent way more than $2,000 on my education. I've easily spent, another $20,000. But we just closed last week and had a $21,000 profit. One deal pays for itself. But of course, there's no guarantees with that. Like I said, the risk is in the investor. And
Perfect.
you need to always consult with legal professionals, and every real estate deal is unique to itself in every way, shape, and form. And there's no income guarantees in the world of real estate. But I do love it, and that's all I'll ever do. So, Mr. CJ Wallace, what do you got for us? You got some words of wisdom?
Let me tell you something, man.
You said something about a gift. I just want to remind you.
Oh, absolutely. I sure did, man. I did not forget that. Yes, sir. Listen, my mom told me there's no greater feeling than wanting to go to work instead of having to go to work. Your boss, right? If some of you have bosses, your boss could say to you, hey, you are fired. And what if you're like, man, you know what? That's okay, because I have rental income coming in monthly. I have cash flow, and I can already pay all of my expenses. So you can just walk right off the job and say, listen, I think I'm just going to go full-time real estate investor, or I think I'm just going to go full-time business owner. I think I'm just going to go full-time. Folks, you've seen what Ray Joseph had presented to you. Okay, you already know that Business Credit Builder and the real estate investing education is where it's at. Now, I want to show you a surprise here. Now, I've never done this before, ever. And we just want to let you know something. And I have to apologize, okay? I got to apologize to you because I've never shared this with you. But we have a real estate investing education that is the creme de la creme. Creme de la creme. That's above all the others. That comes with way more than just the essentials. It'll come with every facet of real estate investing. Whether you want to be lease options person, you want to be the multifamily person, the buy and hold, you want to learn more about generational wealth. We'll teach you that as well. Real estate sales success, on and on and on. Folks, that package it's only $20,000. Now, what does that come with? That comes with so much more than what you've seen, okay? Like I stated, the multifamily, the lease options, all right? The financial wealth, on and on and on. If you want a deeper breakdown, I can break that down for you personally. And it's only 20 grand. Now, the $20,000 also comes with the one-on-one coaching. Now, what is the one-on-one coaching? The one-on-one coaching is when you're getting on the phone with someone who's done it all, okay? He's actually a successful real estate broker as well as a real estate investor, and he's going to show you and walk you through your deal step by step so that you'll get this back. Absolutely. When you're looking for those deals and you are investing, you're seeing which spot to take or which property to buy. Remember, you make money when you buy. All right, now, the $20,000 also comes with 4 free sessions, all right, 4 free sessions with our real estate attorney and CPA, Mark Kohler, as well as this $20,000 will come with your business credit builder, all right? You'll come with the business credit builder, the business credit advisors, the loan officers, all right? And what are we doing? We just want your business set up correctly, all right? So that's what the $20,000 will do. You know, there's a freedom in wisdom. You know what I mean? There's a freedom in knowing where you're going, and we just want to help you get there, all right? Hey, I want to do a special shout out to Javon. The man is determined, and I could hear it in his voice. I was just speaking to him. He's amazing. So now, if you want to get started with the business credit builder at the $24.97 price, that's only going to be the business credit builder, okay? Call us, okay? That number is going to be 888-524-9273, all right? Also, my email is going to be creditwiz@investorpro.org. All right?
You want to put the phone number up there too for him?
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good idea. Let me go ahead and do that. That's 888
524
524
9273.
7273. And folks, if you want both, all right, the essentials, real estate investing, education, and the business credit builder, that's going to be 2997. Okay, so this is for the real estate investing education plus the business credit builder. All right.
Wait a minute. That $20,000 education, is that what you were talking about?
Now, this one down here, this is actually going to be for the essentials. Okay?
Oh, what? Everything Ray just trained about?
Yes, everything Ray just trained about. $2,997 for the business credit builder and the real estate investing education. If you want to get in the $20,000 real estate investing education, you want to see what that's all about, you want to leave a legacy wealth, and you want to accelerate your cash flow, go ahead and do this one. Let me know. creditwiz@investorpro.org. And folks, I will never say, you will never hear me say that you can't do this, because I know you can. Remember, it doesn't have to be your money. Remember, this is for two, okay? All of the real estate investing education is for two households, okay? So you can team up with your cousin. You can team up with your uncle. You can let them know, hey, you know what? We want to do something different for 2019. We want to grow our wealth. We want to be ready when a flood comes.
That was kind of...
We want to build our house on the rock instead of the sand. All right, folks, that's it. If you have any questions, don't hesitate. Let me know. creditwiz@investorpro.org. And the number 888-524-9273.
Any tips on pulling equity from a rental property?
Any tips on pulling?
Ooh!
Wow.
Equity stripping. Perfect. We should talk about that next week. Tune in next week.
creditwiz@investorpro.org, okay? Please tune in next week, because, man, that's awesome. What an awesome question. Who is that that asked that?
Equity stripping next week.
Yeah, who asked that? You better email me.
Fake work.
Fake work? Fake work good? Let's go ahead and do this. Yeah, creditwiz@investorpro.org. Let's talk, okay? Good night, and God bless. Turn that off, man.
Hey, Mr.